All right, Algebra 1, we are talking through our Chapter 7, Part 2 study guide today, which deals with two things, and those are systems of inequalities, like these first two, and then the rest are applications. All right, so with that being said, we have, hold on a second, let me mess around real quick. Okay, so to start out with, we have two systems of linear inequality. So the first one, we need to first make sure y is by itself, and then go ahead and graph. Now keep in mind, each of these lines needs to be dotted or solid, and then shade above. And your final answer should be shaded darker than everything else. Okay? So this first one is already set. It's going to be a solid line, and it's going to be shaded that says less than or equal to. So we're going to go below that line. So -7 is my y-intercept, which is right there. And then I'm going up 5 over 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 6. Right there. And so I'm going to go ahead and draw my line, solid line. And I'm going to shade lightly below that line, since it was less than. Okay, so lightly shade below, and now we look at the second of our two lines. So for this one, I have to get y by itself first. So I'm going to subtract 5x. I get -6y less than -5x minus 12. And then I go ahead and divide by -6. And when I divide by a negative, I need to flip the symbol. So that's going to flip around. Y greater than 5 over 6x plus, since negative divided by negative is 2, positive 2. And so in that second one, it's going to be a dotted line this time, and it's going to be above that line. Okay? And so in that case, I've got positive 2 going that way, and then up 5 over 6, which is right there. And so that's going to be a dotted line going through there. And I should be shading above this time. And so when that happens, these two shadings do not intersect. They do not run into each other. Okay? So in that case, there is no intersection. Okay? There is no part of this that is in both shaded regions, so that would be no solution. Okay? So let's look at the second one, see if we have a solution on this one. So the first one's ready to go, solid line. Says greater than or equal to, so it's going to be above. So positive 5 is right here. Up 3 over 1. Up 3 over 1, or down 3 left 1. So get a few more points in there. And we're ready to go ahead and graph it. And there's our first graph. And it's shading above that line. So above would be this side. So shade lightly above, and there we are. Okay, that should be good enough. And so let's look at the second equation. This is already set for us as well. That's a dotted line. That says a less than, so shaded below. So -5 is right here. And then I'm going to go down 2, right 3. Down 2, right 3. Or up 2, left 3. Up 2, left 3. Like that. And so there's my line. I'm ready to go dotted line through those points. And I'm shading below. So if I shade below, the only part that's shaded already is down here. So that's below and already shaded. So I don't really need to shade that other part that's below. And so my final answer, I'm going to go ahead and shade that darker. And this is my solution. Okay? And so when it asks in the next part of that question, when it asks, what is not a solution? I just need to pick anything that's not in that part. Okay, so I'm just going to pick that one, 0, 0. Okay, if it wanted a solution, I could pick anything in there. That would work. Okay, so there's our first two. Let's go on to look at a couple of application problems. So it says problems 3 through 5 are application problems. Be sure to define your variables, which for me just means labeling. Make sure you label. And then write your equations, show all work, and give your answers in complete sentences. 1 point for variables, 2 points for the equation, 2 points for your work, and 2 points for your answer. So that's a lot of points there. So if you leave any of these blank, probably not going to pass this test. Okay, so make sure you're paying attention to what we're looking at. So number 3 says a group of friends bought 6 tickets to a basketball game. An adult ticket costs $17. So there's my first one. I'm going to put X for adult. Costs $17. And a student ticket, I'm going to call out Y, costs $14. Okay, so already I've done the first part, which is define your variables, X and Y. The total tickets was 99. So there's my two totals. I underlined my two totals. 6 total tickets, 99 total amount of money. How many of each ticket was sold? Okay, so my total amounts are 6 tickets, $99. So what we've talked a lot about in class is, remember, our total amount of money should be money plus money. The total amount of things, like tickets, is just X plus Y. And there's X plus Y equals 6. And then adult tickets was 17, so that's 17X plus student tickets was 14 there, so 14Y equals 99. And now we can decide what we need to multiply by. Okay, so if we multiply this by, I'm going to go negative 14. That's going to be negative 14X, negative 14Y equals, and then I got to use my calculator. 6 times negative 14 is negative 84. Now you could have done negative 17 or negative 14, either way. So now I can go ahead and combine those two together, and I get the 14 and negative 14 cancel. Negative 14 plus 17 is 3X equals, and then negative 84 plus 99 is 15. So divide by 3, I get X equals 5. Now, if there was 5 adult tickets, that means there's only 1 left for a total of 6. Okay, so if X is 5, Y equals 1. Okay, so in a complete sentence, so far look at our points. I got my first point was variables. Okay, good. 2 equations. Here's my 2 equations. There we go. That's the other 2 points. All my work I showed, point, and then my complete sentence is going to be the last 2 points. So in my complete sentence or sentences, I can say there were 5 adult tickets and 1 student ticket. Bought. Or however you say that. Could be a lot of different answers. You could have said the group of friends bought 5 adult tickets and 1 student ticket. Okay, it's again up to you how to write that. All right, just use a complete sentence since that's what it says in the directions. So On this one, it says Julie has 42 coins, all dimes and nickels. So right away, again, get our first point by labeling X and Y. I've got a total of 42 coins. The total amount of money is $3.30. How many of each coin? So once again, I've got my two totals, 42 and $3.30. So the total amount of things is X plus Y. Total amount of money is dimes and nickels, so that's make sure we're doing decimals, 0.10 plus 0.05 for nickel. Make sure we're not doing 0.5 because 0.5 is 50 cents. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and multiply by negative 0.10. So that's negative 0.10x, negative 0.10y equals negative 4.2. Okay, and then the other equation didn't really change. So I just rewrite that. And now we're ready to go ahead and solve. So far I've got all my points. Let's review. Variables, 0.1. Equations, 0.12. So that's a total of 3 points. Showing my work, points 4 and 5, and then answers, points 6 and 7. So now I go ahead and cancel out. The x's cancel. I get negative 0.05y equals negative 4.2 plus 3.30. That's negative 0.9. So I divide by negative 0.05, negative 0.05, get y equals negative 0.05. When I divide, I get 18. Okay, well, look at what we have. I had a total of 42 coins. So x plus 18 equals 42. Subtract 18, I get x equals 42 minus 18 is 24. Okay, so if those are my two amounts, now we need to make sure we understand what that means, write it out in a complete sentence. Okay, so Julie, how many coins did Julie have? Julie had, or has, 24 dimes and 18 nickels. And there's my complete sentence answer. Okay. So I got all my points here. 1, 2 for label, 1, 2 for equations, 1, 2 for work, 1, 2 for my answer. Total of 7 points. Okay. And finally, our last one said Luke and Lauren went to McDonald's to have some dinner. Luke ordered 4 hamburgers and 2 fries for a total of $11.50. Lauren ordered 3 hamburgers and 3 fries. So we got 2 things going on. Okay, hamburgers and fries. But I'm not just going to label them X and Y because it represents hamburgers. It's really talking about what is the cost. Okay, so if you look at the last sentence here, it says, what is the cost of 1 hamburger? So the cost of 1 hamburger is going to be X. The cost of 1 order of fries is going to be Y. Okay, so let's look at Luke's order first. Luke ordered 4 hamburgers and 2 fries for a total of $11.50. Good. Lauren ordered 3 hamburgers and 3 fries for a total of $12. Okay. And there's my 2 equations. Now, this time, I can't just multiply 3 to get 4. I can't just multiply 2 to get 3. So, I'm going to have to multiply both by something. Okay? So, I'm going to try and get the y's to cancel out. So, 2 and 3 both go into 6. So, 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. So, I want one of these to be negative. To be 6 and negative 6. So, the bottom one, I did negative 2. So let's go ahead and add that or multiply that out. 3 times 4 is 12x. 3 times 2 is 6y. And then 3 times 1150 is 3450, or 34.5. Same thing on the bottom, negative 6x, negative 6y, and negative 24. Now we're ready to go ahead and combine. Since we have opposites of y, we can go ahead and cancel. So 12x minus 6x is 6x equals 34.5 minus 24 is 1050, or 10.5. And then I divide by 6. So I get x equals 1050 divided by 6 is 1.75. So that must be the cost, not how many, but the cost of a hamburger. And so when I plug that back in to one of these, I'm going to do the bottom one, I get 3 times 1.75 plus 3y equals 12. Now I just have to solve. So 3 times 175 is 525. So I subtract 5.25 to the other side. Get 3y equals 12 minus 5.25. And I get 675. Divide that by 3. Get y equals 675 divided by 3, which is 225. Okay, and there's my two costs. So in a complete sentence, it says, what is the cost of one hamburger and one order of fries? So one hamburger costs $1.75, and one order of fries costs $2.25. And there we go. There's my complete sentence answer, and we're done. Okay, so be ready for your test. That's basically your test. It's going to be very much identical to that, just maybe different numbers, different problems. Okay? Peace.